Picture this, a state where children sleep peacefully in a home where they helped build, where families who once had no land now have a small plot to call their own, and where the government declares with conviction that no one is left behind. This is not a utopia. This is Kerala's model of extreme poverty eradication, a template for inclusive growth. Hello everyone, I am Nayangiri Gosavi and this is Current to Concept, where we go beyond the headlines to build the conceptual clarity that every UPSC aspirant needs. On 1st of November, also marked as its 69th formation day, the Kerala officially declared that the state had eradicated extreme poverty. It was a landmark moment, symbolic and substantive. But for civil services aspirants, this story is more than just a headline. It's a living case study, one that connects every dimension of the UPSC syllabus, from human development to governance, economics, and to ethics. Let's step into that story. Understanding what poverty truly means beyond mere numbers. Poverty is often imagined as a lack of money, but in reality, it is much deeper. It is the absence of capabilities. It is a family without clean drinking water, a child who cannot go to school, a parent unable to access basic healthcare. It is social exclusion when certain groups by caste, tribe, gender, or region are structurally denied opportunities. Kerala approached poverty with this multidimensional lens. Using the Multidimensional Poverty Index, the state looked beyond income to nutrition, schooling, sanitation, housing, access to social services and assets. This was not charity. It was restoring dignity. And it was a principle rooted in the Indian Constitution of Articles 14 and 50 that guarantee equality, Article 21 and Articles 38, 48 and 41 and 46 of the Directive Principles of State Policy. So let's look at the human map of poverty now, finding every forgotten family. The journey began with identifying every forgotten family and turning statistics into human stories. In 2021, Kerala launched the Extreme Poverty Eradication Project that redefined the notion of state intervention aimed at alleviating poverty. Through painstaking surveys, by going door to door to identify the families living in extreme deprivation, around 64,000 families were identified, roughly 1 lakh individuals. Each family was not treated as a statistic, but as a story of hunger, of homelessness, of exclusions. And each story received a custom plan. Some needed long-term support like land, livelihood, or sustainable income. Others needed mid-term interventions. So how did Kerala engineer transformation and translated this vision into reality? Kerala's success wasn't accidental. It grew out of a historical legacy. Post-independence land reforms, high literacy rates, and early public health investments had created a strong foundation. Yet, history alone was not enough. Transformation took shape when vision met action through decentralized, data-driven governance. Panchayats were empowered under Article 243G of the Indian Constitution to plan the ward level. This was governance that truly listened to the people. And then came the community networks. Kudambashri, women's collectives, Anganwadi, and Asha workers all worked tirelessly to bridge the last mile. There were the connective tissue between policy and people. Through these networks, Kerala ensured that interventions reached not just the majority, but the most marginalized. The state focused on entitlements. Every family got housing, land, and the documents that make them visible in society. Livelihood support and additional income through unskilled work and renovations or construction of houses followed then. By September 2025, over 96% of identified families had been lifted above the extreme poverty line. Now, we'll look at this from the angle of ethics, equity, and the constitution, which is the soul of this entire mission. Kerala's model was more than economics or statistics. It was an ethical story. It was about the dignity of the human person, echoing Gandhian Sarvodaya and Ambedkar's constitutional morality principle. Poverty eradication was framed not as charity, but as a right, a restoration of capabilities that the state had a moral and constitutional duty to provide. Yet, even in this story, question remains. Are the tribal communities in remote areas fully included? Can a declaration of poverty-free state ever capture the experiences of every last individual? Now, these are the ethical dilemmas that UPSC aspirants can explore under GS Paper 4. The balance between intent, outcome, and transparency. Now, the real test is of inclusion, transparency, and the last mile. Kerala teaches us that inclusive growth is possible without being the fastest growing economy. Its strategy combined housing, health, livelihoods, and social entitlements. Data-driven microplanning and empowered local governance made last mile delivery possible. But it's not a magic formula. Kerala's high literacy, strong local institutions, and compact size are unique. Replicating this model elsewhere requires careful adaptation. Sustainability is another challenge. Fiscal stress, demographic aging, and structural economic transformation are the real concerns. Now comes the important part, the UPSC lens, and how to use Kerala's story across your GS papers. This case study is a treasure trove for UPSC preparation. In GS Paper 1, this links to human development, social exclusion, human dignity. In GS Paper 2, this is tied to decentralized governance, welfare state, and policy convergence. In GS Paper 3, this is a case study for inclusive growth, multidimensional poverty, and human capital. In GS Paper 4, this links to the ethics of equity and of constitutional morality and participatory governance. When you write answers, let Kerala's story guide your narrative. Define poverty, bring in data and stories, explain the enablers, and critically analyze the challenges, thereby concluding with lessons for India. In conclusion, this is the Kerala way, which exemplifies dignity as development. Kerala's achievement is not just a number. It is a narrative of human dignity restored. Over 64,000 families lifted out of extreme deprivation. Over 5,000 houses built, and many more lives transformed. As UPSC aspirants, the story of Kerala teaches a deeper lesson. Policy must be human-centered, governance must be participatory, and development must be inclusive. It also reminds us that progressive governance can be rooted in welfareism and growth simultaneously. This presents an alternative development paradigm, the Kerala story worth propagating. If this session has enriched your perspective or UPSC preparation, don't forget to follow the channel for more such timely updates. You'll find today's notes in the description box below, and let me know what issues you'd want me to discuss in the upcoming sessions. Thank you and keep learning.